Hey guys, what's up? So it is Jay and Jordan over at Guerrilla Games, and we're here to do the weekly update. Normally it's me and John, but we decided we wanted to talk about Prey because we felt like that was the biggest thing to come out this week in video games. And John has not played it because he is still putting all of his time into Breath of the Wild. I think he just beat Ganondorf though, so there's a pretty big backlog that he's going to have to work through. Like, I know he still wants to play Horizon and then, you know, Prey and all that other stuff. So anyway, so Prey. I really like it.
I think it's awesome. It's a great, because it's a total reboot of the series, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've been telling people it's kind of like a combination of BioShock and Half-Life. And like, as you can tell, I'm a pretty big fan of BioShock. So I like it quite a bit. I think it's very clear that the developers are huge RPG fans.
Yeah.
Just from like all the little like pickups that you can find. I was playing it and like the first thing that I made was like a crossbow. And I was like, oh, awesome, I get to make this sweet crossbow. And it turned out it was like a Nerf.
Yeah, Nerf.
It was like
darts,
a Nerf dart crossbow. But they had made it seem like this was going to be like the coolest thing ever. And I found somebody's like character sheet, and I found like a 7 set and some security guide. So that was pretty cool just to see like all the little shout outs that they do to all the different RPGs. Even like the beginning of the game, kind of the way they set it up, where they introduce the opening credits kind of in an overlay of you going about your normal day. So it's really good. I've only played it for about 2 hours, so I'm still pretty new to the whole thing. But so far I like what I've played, and I'm definitely excited to dive back into it.
Yeah, I really like it because I like what you said. It was like BioShock. But I thought it was more like BioShock mixed with kind of like Dead Space because it's space survival horror.
Yep.
So that's what I've been comparing it to when I explain it to people. But man, it's awesome. All like how in depth the crafting system is, and recycling all the different materials to make different
I was telling my girlfriend about it, and she's a huge Alien fan. And just like the fact that the aliens can literally just be like anything, is just like it's simultaneously like scary, and it's just like you're just like, come on. Like I walked into this one room, and like I opened the door, and there was like a rolling chair, and the rolling chair like slowly rolled and then just like stopped up against a wall, and I was like, I know that's an alien. Like, that's clearly what they're setting up, is that's supposed to be an alien. So I, like, took out my wrench, and I was, like, creeping up on it, and then, like, this banana on a desk next to me turns into an alien. So I'm, like, fighting this thing. I was like, oh, no, I didn't see that. And then the chair turns into an alien and attacks me, and I was like, I knew that was an alien. Like, I knew it, but it was, like, just, like, the subtle ways that they're, like, you know, making obvious things, but then, like, disguising other things that are going on. I think it's, like, it's very cool what they're doing, so...
Yeah, I thought it's pretty awesome to see, like, because as far as I know, I haven't played any games where something like that happens, where you can, and literally anything in the environment could be an enemy.
An enemy, and, for sure.
Like you said, it's pretty cool how, like, you see like slight movement. It is kind of like reminiscent of Alien, where it's like, you see something out of the corner of your eye, and then you turn and you're like, oh, is that an alien?
Yeah, for sure.
A double of this item or that item. So.
Yeah. Cool. So that's Prey. If you guys haven't played it yet, I highly suggest you go out and try it out. If you have played it, you should tell us about your thoughts in the comments below. Some other news in the world of video games. I'm a huge Overwatch fan, and Overwatch just wrapped up their Uprising event, and they released the stats for all the different, basically all the different matches that happened. So there were 145,506,333 Uprising matches that people played. And here's where I think is really kind of crazy. So there were only 67 million human victories, but there were 78 million null sector victories. So there's almost 10% more people losing to bots than there were just people winning. And I guess a lot of that was in the highest difficulty level. There was only like a 0.8% rate of people winning. So I know this event was like really, really popular. I thought it was awesome. I think the number one problem that people have with the game is they just feel like there's not enough story to it. So I think this Uprising event really helped, kind of craft characters, tell a story. So I hope that they bring it back, and I hope that they do more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I remember hearing that Blizzard is talking about bringing all the previous events back to Overwatch, so people can still earn the skins that they didn't have a chance to get during like the summer games, or was it Year of the Rooster? I think it was. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I know people want like the Uprising type game mode to be a permanent thing in the game, which I think would be pretty neat. Because that was probably one of my favorite events, just overall in that game.
And I think the another cool thing that they did is they told basically by character who had the highest win rates. So across all difficulties, Lucio was, if you picked Lucio, your team went on to win 61% of the time. And then that was followed by Symmetra and Diva. And then for Legendary only, they had Zenyatta, Orisa, Reinhardt, and Bastion, which I love both Zenyatta and Lucio, so it's just firmly proves to me that I'm making the right life choices. And they said that there were 815,548,819 Uprising loot boxes were earned. So yeah, Overwatch, awesome game.
Yeah, they're also talking about there's like a data mined leak that there's going to be a Game of the Year edition coming out, and it's supposed to include a bunch of like cosmetic stuff like the Origins edition did. In addition, people get like 10 or 20 free loot boxes when they buy it. And it's supposed to have a bunch more content in it. There hasn't, like I said, it was a leak, but it'd be pretty cool to see that.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think it's just like, I mean, you can watch like pretty much any episode, and I'll talk to you about Overwatch and about how great it is. But I think it is just like, it just hits it on every level for just a variety of different people. Like a lot of people say that like League of Legends is like the easiest to pick up and play, but I think there is just some kind of learning barrier for MOBAs. That I think Overwatch just really helps people get over because it's a first-person shooter.
For sure.
One last stat that I was actually really surprised by was there were more... So, like, the highest total score was on PlayStation. It wasn't on... Yeah, it wasn't on PC, which you would assume that, like... So apparently there's some awesome Overwatch player playing on PS4 that we, like... that apparently is just the best Overwatch player when it comes to Uprising in the entire world, which I thought was interesting because I would have figured it would have been PC.
Oh yeah.
Because there's always like the PC people that are like tooting their own horns about how it's the best console, and it's like, well, now it's like they actually have proof that like no, somebody outscored you and it was on a PS system. So. Was there anything else in video games that you want to talk about?
The one thing that I'm excited about is Black Ops 3 is getting new Zombies DLC. They're remastering a bunch of the old maps, which I like because the multiplayer has kind of gone downhill, especially in the newer like Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered. So it's cool to see the extra game modes getting the attention that they really deserve. The other thing that I thought was awesome was all the promotional art and everything like that is handled by the artist who does stuff for Metal Gear Solid. So they partnered with him, and there's been a ton of cool like posters and images coming out from that. But that to me, that's the biggest thing that's coming out.
Cool. Yeah, I know Zombies is just super popular.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean, cool. So now switching over into like board games, card games, that kind of stuff. The Pro Tour Nashville for Amonkhet starts today. I have not heard anything about it or really seen too much because I've had a really busy morning. But I'm super excited to see what new decks come out of Standard.
You know, I haven't really been paying too much attention to it because I'm more of a commander-focused player, but
Okay.
I am looking to... Because I built a standard deck in Kaladesh,
Yeah.
the Electrostatic Pummeler, and I love that. It was awesome, and it was a really cheap budget deck. But yeah, I'm really excited to see, because like, I know when we were looking at the spoilers before the set came out, there's some of the stuff that you're telling me about that looked awesome.
So, like, Approach the Second Sun?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So that's the deck, is New Perspectives plus Approach the Second Sun, is if you, basically, like, if you resolve New Perspectives on turn 5, you just win the game.
Yeah.
Because you play New Perspectives, and then you just get to cycle through your whole deck, and there's, like, a whole bunch of cards that let you, like, untap permanents. So you do all that, right? Then you cast Approach the Second Sun, shuffle it into your deck. You play, I think it's like Call from the Grave or something, and return all the cycling cards back to your hand. And then cycle through your deck some more until you find Approach the Second Sun, generate a more mana, and then cast it. Which you guys can check out. MTG Goldfish did a whole Against the Odds thing about it, and he played 5 straight games with it in a league and 5-0'd the league, which is like, which is pretty nuts. And it's basically, he said, like, if you resolve a New Perspectives on turn 5, you've won the game. And there's basically like, there's not really a whole lot of interaction your opponent can do. So hopefully we can see like a tuned version of that on the Pro Tour, because that deck seems really sweet.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
And then in the board gaming world, they released the Origins Awards nominees. So the awards will be presented during Saturday, June 17th. For Best Board Game, there's Blood Rage, which is this awesome, basically like miniatures game about Vikings. And you're trying to like take over this like cool like Viking area. Clank, which is this really cool like deck builder / dungeon diver. Scythe, which we've tried to get in stock, but they just keep telling us that they can't find any. Star Wars Rebellion. Those are kind of the big ones. There's a couple other like smaller titles. Mansions of Madness. And Kaladesh was nominated for Best Collectible Game. But yeah, you can go ahead and check out. They have a list of them up there. We actually have copies of Lotus and Mystic Veil here in the store that you guys can come in and play with. Those were both nominated for Best Traditional Card Game. So yeah, you can come on in, try out some of the games that are nominated, and then yeah, have some fun.
Yeah.
So I think that about wraps it up. Yeah. Cool. All right, sweet. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching the video. Like I said, make sure that you like, subscribe. Check us out on Twitch, on Twitter. Follow us all over social media, and do all that good stuff. So until next time, I'll see you guys around.